What's up, guys? There are many mythical curses in sports, and one of the most popular of them all is the dreaded sophomore slump. Every sports league has seen a number of star rookies struggle in their second year, and the NFL is no exception. Even some of the league's current stars like Matt Ryan and Ndamukong were victims of the sophomore slump. It's very likely that a few of 2018's top NFL rookies struggle in year 2, but which ones are most likely to hit a rough patch in their second season? I'm Biondo, and today we present 8 NFL rookies from 2018 who are most likely to endure a sophomore slump in 2019. Don't forget to leave your video ideas down below. We'll be looking, and if you choose your idea, we'll give you a shout out in the video. Don't forget to subscribe to TPS and put on your notifications because we post videos every single day. Number 8. Jaire Alexander. The Green Bay Packers were among the NFL's biggest disappointments in 2018, but rookie cornerback Jaire Alexander, drafted 18th overall, turned out to be one of the team's few bright spots. Named to the PFWA All-Rookie team, Alexander racked up 11 passes defended, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 touchdown. He was a superb fit in the schemes of defensive coordinator Mike Pettin. However, the Packers defense underwent some major changes, adding underrated safety Adrian Amos along with Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith in free agency, and they drafted Michigan linebacker Rashawn Gary in the first round. The Packers are going to add more emphasis on their pass rush and run stopping. That, and with newcomer Amos patrolling the secondary, we expect Alexander's overall role to diminish a bit in Green Bay. The Packers won't be relying much on coverage schemes here. They're going to have to do more with their front 7. Amos will also be playing a prominent role in going up against the team's top pass catcher. Add it all up, and it's hard to see Alexander being as dominant as he was in his rookie season. Other players on Green Bay are simply going to steal some of his thunder in production, but hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll see. Number 7. Calvin Ridley. Having Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu wasn't enough for the Atlanta Falcons general manager Thomas Dimitroff. He drafted Alabama wide receiver Calvin Ridley with the 26th pick, and the 6'1", 190-pound wideout produced strong results. Ridley helped Matt Ryan regain his top-notch form after a frustrating 2017 season. Ridley caught 64 passes for 821 yards and 10 touchdowns, and this was with Jones leading the NFL in receiving yards. And with Sanu having the best season of his career, can Ridley really take his game to another level though? The Atlanta passing game was lethal in 2018, but injuries to lead running back Devontae Freeman took the rushing game element out of the team's playbook. Don't believe us? Atlanta only had 351 rushing attempts in 2018, third fewest in the NFL. They ranked 16th the year before with 430 attempts. Our point, with Freeman returning, Atlanta will lean more on its rushing game, which was one of the NFL's best in 2016 and 17. That means less throws from Matt Ryan, and less receptions for his receivers. Plus, Ridley might struggle to take targets away from Jones, Sanu, and tight end Austin Hooper. Don't forget Freeman loves doing damage as a pass catcher in the backfield as well. Our guess? Ridley actually builds off a strong rookie year and performs nicely in his sophomore season, but we also wouldn't be surprised if he took a step back for the reasons outlined above. Number 6. Sony Michel. So losing Dion Lewis to the Tennessee Titans in free agency didn't hurt the New England Patriots after all. Bill Belichick signed Sony Michel with the 31st pick in 2018, and it turned out to be quite a special find. In a year when New England's passing game took a step back, Michel powered the rushing game and the team's offense with 931 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. He was even more heroic in the postseason, rushing for 336 yards and 6 touchdowns, including the game winner in Super Bowl 53 against the Los Angeles Rams. But as every fantasy football player knows, you can never draft a Patriots running back too early. When's the last time Belichick had relied on one running back to carry the workload in consecutive seasons? He takes the RB by committee approach, and the team seems to have a new leading rusher every year. Even though he's used more as a pass catcher, James White is still called upon for his fair share of carries. The Patriots also brought back old friend Brandon Bolden, and hardworking Rex Burkhead was also retained for another year. And finally, the Patriots drafted Alabama running back Damian Harris in the 3rd round. There, now you have 5 running backs on the depth chart. Burkhead, White, and Harris will each get a good amount of carries. Harris especially brings a tremendous skill set, so he might overtake Michel as the lead back. The bottom line is this: the Patriots have a loaded backfield, and it would be un-Belichick-like to have Michel do most of the work again. That's why we expect his stats to dip quite a bit in 2019. Number 5. Gus Edwards. The 6'1" Edwards led the Baltimore Ravens with 718 rushing yards in 2018. He and Lamar Jackson powered a strong rushing game that propelled Baltimore to an AFC North Division title. But much like the Patriots, the Ravens also used the RB by committee approach, and Edwards might not see as much of a workload in his sophomore year. The Ravens added former New Orleans Saints star Mark Ingram Jr. in free agency. Baltimore also drafted Oklahoma State running back Justice Hill in the 4th round, and he has the potential to take over as the team's lead back. Even if Ingram and Hill don't take the number 1 running back job away from Edwards, the two will certainly get a good amount of carries. That means Edwards won't have as much of a workload, meaning his stats will go down quite a bit. But really, we expect both Ingram and Hill to move ahead of Edwards on the depth chart as the Ravens lead back. Number 4, Courtland Sutton. The Broncos drafted the 6'3" Sutton in the second round, 40th overall in 2018. And despite inconsistent play from quarterback Case Keenum, Sutton was among the top rookie wide receivers. He finished with 42 receptions for 704 yards and 4 touchdowns. Why would we expect Sutton to regress when he was one of the better rookie performers from 2018? Well, keep in mind that Denver's top wideout veteran Emmanuel Sanders suffered a gruesome Achilles tear that ended his season in December. With Sanders sidelined, Sutton was able to earn more targets and receptions, since the Broncos didn't really have any other pass-catching playmakers. On top of that, the Broncos drafted one of the greatest tight end prospects in recent memory. The name? Noah Fant. The Iowa product was taken with the number 20 pick by the Broncos. He could very well emerge as Denver's top offensive player in 2019. And if not, Sanders, the do-it-all veteran workhorse, doesn't seem ready to lose his status as Denver's top receiver. Add it all up, and it's going to be tricky for Sutton to repeat or top his rookie season. And who knows? As frustrating as Keenum was, there's no guarantee that Joe Flacco or rookie Drew Lock will be upgrades at quarterback. So yeah, the signs point to a bit of regression here for Sutton. Number 3, DJ Moore. The Carolina Panthers knew that they had to find a new number 1 receiver for Cam Newton, which prompted the front office to take Maryland wideout DJ Moore with the 24th selection in 2018. The flashy 5'11" wideout produced nicely with 55 receptions for 788 yards and 2 touchdowns. Moore even added 172 rushing yards. Only do-it-all running back Christian McCaffrey finished ahead of Moore in team receiving yards, but we can expect Moore to take his game to another level here in 2019. It's easy to believe so after a sensational rookie year, but there are factors that cause doubts for us. Tight end Greg Olsen, Cam Newton's favorite target for the bulk of his career, missed 7 games due to injury. Speaking of Newton, his 2018 season was hampered by a shoulder injury. It's anyone's guess how much that'll affect him in 2019. The Panthers should expect a rebound year from deep threat Torrey Smith, while Chris Hogan provides Carolina with a reliable number 3 option. The 2-time Super Bowl champion brings much-needed leadership and experience to a young Carolina receiving corps. With Olsen back, Newton's health in question, and Carolina adding depth at wideout, it's going to be difficult for Moore to top his rookie season. If anything, a sophomore slump seems extremely likely for him. We might have to wait until 2020 for that breakout year. Number 2, Phillip Lindsey. 2018 was a mess for the Broncos, but undrafted running back Phillip Lindsey was among the few positives. He rushed for 1,037 yards and 9 touchdowns, averaging an excellent 5.4 yards per carry. Lindsey also added 35 receptions for 241 yards and 1 touchdown. That said, it's reasonable to believe Lindsey will take a bit of a step back in his second year. Don't forget the Broncos took Oregon running back Royce Freeman in the 3rd round of the 2018 draft. However, Freeman missed some of his rookie season with an ankle injury, yet he managed a respectable 521 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns as Denver's number 2 back. Freeman is probably the more gifted and talented running back here, and you can bet new head coach Vic Fangio will lean aplenty on him to lead the ground game more. It's also possible that Lindsey and Freeman split the workload. Hey, we could be wrong here. Freeman might not be able to produce much in the backfield, whereas Lindsey will pick up right from where he left off. But we just don't see it that way. Freeman is simply too talented and has the skill set to be a true number 1 running back. It's going to be very, very difficult for Lindsey to hold down the starting job throughout the entire season, and to repeat a fairly successful rookie year. Number 1, Lamar Jackson. The Baltimore Ravens moved up to select a flashy and mobile running back with the 32nd pick in the 2018 draft. Veteran Joe Flacco struggled with consistency and was later sidelined by a hip injury, opening the door for Jackson to take over as Baltimore's starter. And boy, did he ever deliver. Jackson won 6 of 7 starts and led the Ravens to an AFC North Division title, their first in 6 years, and the team's first playoff berth since 2014. Jackson had 1,201 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, a whopping 695 rushing yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns. But is Jackson really capable of retaining that tremendous level of play throughout an entire season? The Los Angeles Chargers frustrated Jackson in the AFC wildcard round, forcing him to try and beat the team in the passing game. Newsflash, it didn't work. He was sacked 7 times and threw 1 interception while fumbling 3 times. Mike Jackson ended up being the next Robert Griffin III, where he dazzles in his rookie year with a strong dual threat game. But once defenses get the playbook on him, he can't adapt and begins to struggle. Jackson is far too gifted athletically to be a one-hit wonder. We totally view him as the face of the Ravens franchise, but he might have to endure some growing pains in his sophomore year. Teams won't be falling for his heavy rushing style again. Jackson has to develop as a passer, and the Ravens don't really have any marquee pass catchers. If we had to guess, we'd expect Jackson to regress and struggle as a quarterback in 2019. With a strong rushing game and the NFL's best secondary, Baltimore has most of the pieces in place to compete for a Super Bowl. But after an incredible rookie season, we caution you to keep expectations reasonable on Jackson. A sophomore slump seems just as likely as a Pro Bowl caliber season from him in 2019. Which other rookies from the NFL are most likely to endure a sophomore slump in 2019? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every single week and they're really good. So if you want more of me, then you should go there. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click right down there. Smash that like button. Subscribe to TPS because we post videos every single day. Every day's new video. Subscribe. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. My knee!